Now, I have so many great things for you up my sleeve today that you are going to be tickled pink and so happy. So, thank you so much for your love, your time, and your energy. And thank you for being here. So let's first of all start with for those of you who are new here, my name is Evette Rose, and I am best well known for having written this big book called Metaphysical Anatomy, which is a big book of 679 medical elements and the psychosomatic messages of that. And then also key points that you can look at to start to work through your life and any stress that you might be having and perhaps that emotional stress that's behind those ailments. And yes, we have the kids version as well. Now, a lot of people ask me, so what do I do with a big book? And once I have the answers to what the subconscious or conscious stress and trauma points and patterns are behind my trauma and also behind my ailments or pain or even addictions. Well, the answer is I did design a really fun to use, easy healing technique, which is called MAT, Metaphysical Anatomy Technique. And so we're going to be diving a little bit into that today, because in this technique, we normally level one is the prerequisite. And I'm going to be diving into both level one and level two because we actually have level two coming up in October. And I'm so excited. And when we look at healing trauma, when we look at healing stress, one of the main reasons why people don't heal is because there's secondary gains, there's fear of change, right? That's one of the biggest reasons is fear of change. I mean, secondary gains, hidden benefits, self-sabotaging behaviors, bad habits, these are all symptoms of fear of change. Now, why do we fear change? Why do we fear something that we actually need in order to grow and evolve and change? Because even if you look at evolution, normally change is required in order to create a shift. Because if things always stay the same, then I don't know if we would even be here or what the world would look like if we didn't have change. But now change is normally prompted and triggered when we are under a state of distress. Because the same also in nature when we look at evolution. When does change take place? When there's a certain type of stress that has been applied. Because if things are going well, then why is there a need for change? Now, here's the catch. What was your or were your experiences with change in the past? This can make or break your healing journey and the success of your healing journey. Because if you have a fear of change, then how can the body then feel safe to heal? Because that is how we heal. Is when the body, and I'm talking now just about you, not just about the soul's consciousness, but the biology of the body feels safe. And this is something that a lot of people actually overlook when they start to do workshops, when they start to do change work. And this is something that we're going to be diving in quite deep to really get in and out the stress and the trauma and blocks and sabotage behind fear of change. So the change now can take gracefully, because imagine if you have a massive fear of change and you go through a workshop for 3, 4, 5 days, you're not really going to get a lot out of it. Why? Because that fear of change is constantly going to sabotage you. You might, start struggling with selective hearing, or you might sabotage, getting to class, or, your internet connection might drop out if you're doing it online. I mean, the list is endless. I'm sure many of you have probably experienced that when you really truly have a fear of doing something, and then when you actually go and you try to do it, all these things starts to go wrong and you just have all this drama, and it's like, oh my god, now everything has to start going wrong. Yeah, I get it. That's happened to me as well. So this is something that is tremendously important. So even though you're like, well, how do you talk about all these techniques? I'm not even familiar with the work. Well, the good news is there's so much content that I'm sharing, and that's what I'm sharing here with you today. Also, with a lot of great information about what I do and why I do what I do, because this is a tremendously big passion for me. So I actually started to get into the healing industry because, of course, my life was an absolute shambles. We don't get into personal development because our life is going great, right? There's a pain point, there's something that we want to address, there's something that we would like to deal with. And what I've learned along my healing journey when I reach my pain point is that the three biggest takeaways is that you don't need to know memories in order to heal. You don't need to recall certain pain points, or you don't need to relive the trauma in order for it to heal. And you don't even have to really talk about the trauma in order to really nail it down and to heal that as well. And this is something that I have taken very, very deeply to heart because I've had terrible experiences in the healing industry. And so I designed this technique to completely avoid and sidestep all of this. So this technique really dives deep into the conscious and the subconscious trauma to help the nervous system to regulate itself. We work with different parts of the brain. We work with the ancestry. We work with negative energies. We work with aspects of new people's, what we would call soul copies, how people's energy can influence and actually often even manipulate our characteristics and our personality without us even realizing it. Now, how do we spot them? That's the good question. And this is what we actually will be teaching as well in the Math Level 1 and Level 2 healing course. Now, something that I'm so excited to be announcing also to everyone is that Level 1 course is now a self-paced online course. That means you can dive into the Level 1 course whenever you have time. We don't have to keep worrying about our schedules and time difference and our stars and the astrology lining up so that we can connect. You can now dive right into Level 1, and you can do it at your own pace. And that also means that you can come to the live online course or the live Level 1 event for free without an expiration date. How great is that? So you can always keep coming back and joining us and just having a really, really great time and hang out and keep learning, meet great people, meet like-minded people as well. And then what now is even better, that qualifies you to come to the Level 2 course as well. That's the Math Advanced Technique. So Math Level 1 is 2.5 days, and then Math Level 2 course is 5 days. Yes, it's 5 days, because there we go deep, deep, deep into the healing technique and into the work. Now, what happens also here is there's more great news. So you get 10% discount if you would like to join these events as well. And on top of that, you get 40% discount from any of our online self-paced courses as well. How great is that? Now, what gets even better with the Math Level 2 course is, for those of you who have already done Level 1, is that if you come in a group of 3, you bring 2 people, you can get 50% discount. And if you don't have 3 people, email us at info@metaphysicalanatomy.com, and we will find a group of 3 for you. We have a lot of people emailing us saying, hey, I'm looking for a group of 3. Do you have any people available who wants to, group and pair up? Absolutely, we do. So we can absolutely help you out on that. You don't have to worry about trying to go out and recruit people. But if you have friends that want to join you, now they can, because they can actually do the Level 1 healing course self-paced. So you can get to watch that course and go through it, and then come ready to rock and roll with me at the Math Level 2 Advanced course. Now, what is so great about this Math Level 2 Advanced course? And that's a really great question. So during Math Level 1, we tap and dive into quite a lot about the trauma, how to gently shift it, and what could be a lot of blocks as to why people don't heal, and then how to work around that, how to work through that as well, and how to help people to resolve those pain points so that they don't have to keep struggling and feeling stuck and lost in life. So that's one thing that I'm really, really super excited about sharing with you, and especially how to heal pain, how to heal addictions, how to heal, trauma, how to work with depression and anxiety and all these other pain points as well. And we have so many case studies as well that you will get extra once you've completed the course. So you'll get to see a tremendous amount of healing demonstrations. You will get access to a lot of resources where I've answered over 200, 300, 400 questions. So you get to get a glimpse very deeply already in terms of what is out there, what can be done, what this technique can really truly do. Because if you're feeling really scattered in your career right now, if you're a healer or you want to heal yourself, and you're like, I've learned so much and I just don't know what to work with and what to apply anymore, you're going to see that Metaphysical Anatomy Technique is going to bring everything together for you. This technique is very powerful. It actually has everything that you can possibly think of. We work with emotions, addictions, pain, physical healings. We work with ailments. We work with belief systems. We work with the soul's consciousness. We work with the biology's consciousness, the ancestry, the master cell. We go very, very deep into all of these points and aspects in a very simplified, easy to use healing technique. that is laid out for you so clearly that it's impossible to even make a mistake. And also, we're going to be diving deep into your belief systems, your values in terms of how you heal, and how this can also potentially be, perhaps being a sabotaging point for you. So when we look at healing, right? So the brain continues to grow. The brain, we have neuroplasticity and neurogenesis. So what I'm very conscious of, what you'll find with this healing technique, is that MAT is very gentle, and it helps people to rewire their neural networks in a positive way to overcome trauma and negative events from the past that they really would like to let go of. So it really truly promotes positive neuroplasticity and neurogenesis. Whereas negative neuroplasticity and neurogenesis can take place if you start to relive trauma, or you have to talk about things that you don't want to talk about, and just keeps re-traumatizing you, which is just absolutely not necessary. We're going to be diving also deep into the reptilian mind, which is in the back of the brain, which is our instinctive responses. That's very deeply connected to our fight and flight response. And this is one of the main culprits why people also don't heal. It's not just fear of change. Fear of change is a symptom. But if you want to go even deeper, now we're looking at the reptilian mind. And during Math Level 2, we're going to be diving deep into meeting this part of the brain and learning to understand, how does this really work? How does the body work with it? How do we respond with all these different sensations, and how to catch it really easily, especially in yourself? Or if you would like to become a practitioner and you work with clients, this is going to take your work to the absolute next level. Absolutely guaranteed. You're going to love it, and your clients are going to love it as well. I'm going to teach you how to stay super laser focused so that you can get the absolute best out of your healing sessions as well. Because the more you're able to focus, the clearer your intention is. These two combined, guys, let me tell you, this is an absolute winning recipe. Something that will completely change how you do healing work. And not even just healing work, but also how you do everything in life. Because the more focused we are, of course, the better we can become at what we do. So we're going to be learning also how to work with neural pathways. You're going to be learn how to work with, we're actually going to be looking at the computation neurons. So these beautiful little guys are responsible for helping people to learn and understand what is happening in the here and now. But what we're going to be doing is, I'm going to be showing you how to work with them, how to take advantage of these beautiful parts of the brain, and how to get information that you otherwise might not have gotten from the person. So I'm going to be teaching you powerful tools to help you to pull out different, tools in your tool bag, especially when you feel like, wow, my intuition is not really working very well. I'm going to show you where and how to tap into your client's body or into your body to pull that information out. So that's also the good news about this healing technique, and especially the advanced technique as well. Then we also have mirror neurons. So we'll be diving deep into mirror neurons. These are the guys that are at the staples of your brain. So if you touch your head here on the side and you close your mouth and you bite, you feel how it protrudes a little bit out. So it's kind of like in that region, moves a little bit backward as well. But we normally kind of look at it from here, from this angle. Now, why are mirror neurons so important? This is what helps us to actually relate to our environment. And I've made groundbreaking research and discoveries with the mirror neurons 10 years ago that I've actually now applied to the MAC Level 2 course to help people to learn and understand why they are the way that they are, how does it work, and also how to help people by spotting different elements that's perhaps working or not flowing as well in the mirror neurons. You can actually tell an entire person's personality by just connecting to the mirror neurons. It's a tremendously powerful part of the brain as well. Then you're going to learn also how to dive into and work with the limbic system, the hippocampus. That's the emotional brain. Now here, you can actually learn and understand a person's emotional history, because the more the hippocampus have been stimulated and nurtured during childhood years, the more emotionally healthy a person's going to be. They might attract more healthier relationships. They might have a better relationship with themselves as well. But if there was a lot of abuse or a lot of stress during a person's childhood during that time, then you're going to find that the hippocampus and the limbic system, that area, that region, is going to be understimulated. Now, here's the good news. What do we do with that? Well, a healing work can create tremendous changes in the hippocampus, because we know that we have neuroplasticity that can take place there as well. And that means that emotional change and rewiring can happen. It can take place. And I'm going to be showing you exactly how to do that as well, and how to do it instantly, gracefully, and very powerfully. And of course, we also want it to be permanent. We're going to dive even deeper into the relationship between emotions and instincts. Why is it that emotions and instincts play the most fundamental role and foundation in the metaphysical anatomy healing technique? Because remember, what fires together wires together, and so they formulate memories together as well, cognitively, emotionally, as well as through the visceral system of the body, muscle system as well, and the cellular structure of the body as well, and the psychosomatic structure of the body as well. Do I have your attention now? Sounds interesting, right? Let me tell you, it is. It's absolutely fantastic. And it's even more amazing when you see how it all comes together and how you can create a very powerful healing as well, not just for yourself, but for other people as well, because this technique is amazing. You can become a practitioner, or you can become your own best practitioner, because this technique also supports and helps people to work on themselves as well. Now, another part of the brain that we're going to be diving into is the midbrain. Now, this part of the brain is responsible for helping us to regulate pain, amongst many, many, many other jobs and responsibilities that it has. So I'm going to be showing you how to work with this midbrain to help people who are struggling perhaps with pain, chronic pain, pain due to injury or pain due to ailments. How do we work with this part, and how do we get the body to regulate itself so that the pain and the flow of the pain can become less and less? And also at the same time, looking at the emotional and psychosomatic stress behind that, and how to learn to recognize that almost bump instantly. You're also going to learn why is pain so difficult to heal, and how it can now actually become so much easier. We're going to be diving golf deep also into the master cell of the body. You're going to learn to look at where and how to heal past lives, also looking at how to balance certain instinctive responses that can also be taking place in the body. Because if the body doesn't feel safe, certain instinctive responses, they're going to stay wired, right? That's why a lot of people continue to stay very defensive, very angry, very irritated, or very shy. They don't want to be around people. They want to hide all the time. That means that there's an instinctive response that's very dominant, but it also hasn't regulated properly. And so this instinctive response is now becoming, of course, problematic, because it's influencing your quality of life and your confidence and your ability to live your dreams, to create the success that you want, to maybe chase that perfect relationship that you know that's out there and that you know that you deserve as well. So we're going to teach you and show you exactly how to work with these emotions, how to put them to rest, how to release them, and how to regulate and rebalance these instinctive responses so that the body can go back into a very nice, beautiful, harmonious, and neutral state. We're also going to be diving deep into soul copies. Now, soul copies is aspects that we've copied, energy that we've copied from other people, conscious or subconsciously, but of course, mostly in this case, it's subconscious. And then what happens is that person's memories or emotions or certain aspects of them actually can influence a person's personality. It can influence how they show up, how they behave, how they think, and how they feel. And what's really annoying about these soul copies is that it's sometimes hard to recognize whether it's one or whether it's you. But with this technique, you're going to be able to do that in seconds, and then heal and shift that as well, so that you can start to express your own true, authentic sense of self. We're going to be diving deep into a process where you can disconnect from people, especially people that you've been abused by, people that don't want to leave you alone, people who are manipulating you, people who are just absolutely ruining your life, or people that you just don't want in your life anymore. It's a very powerful technique, and this technique works. Let me tell you, if you want to ask any of my students, this technique works. And this technique also comes with a lot of rules. Of course, because it's called disconnection. So there's different rules that needs to be applied and understood before this technique can actually also be used in a safe way, because you don't want to kick people out in your life that you actually really truly want and need. We're going to be diving deep also into the spine. We're going to be looking at also, how does the spine play a role in our ancestral values? How does our spine play a role in causing this, holding at least the psychosomatic stress of back pain, but also conflict in values? That part of you that wants to do something, and then there's another part of you that just doesn't want to do it. That stress is normally held in that area. Now it gets even better. Now it gets more fun. We're going to be diving deep also into dimensional work. So we're going to be looking at aspects of you that has a vibrational match where you could be existing somewhere else that has all these beautiful, positive, higher frequencies of resources that we can start to pull into this lifetime to start to set forward a very powerful healing integration for you and to start to align you more with your absolute greatest expression. And there's so many more other amazing things that we're going to be diving into, such as well Tryon Minds. Now, Tryon Minds are beautiful as normally people sometimes call them like chakras, but here in this case, they're actually not. These little Tryon Minds, we have 6 after birth, but before we were born, we had 14. So after birth, they merge into 6. And we're going to be learning also how to work with these 6 Tryon Minds. In level 3, we actually go into the 14 Tryon Minds, and you're really going to see how to deeply start to heal and work with that as well. Now, these Tryon Minds are brilliant. They're wonderful for helping us to reconnect to the automatic human blueprint, the collective consciousness of the human anatomy. If you had to eradicate the trauma and everything that have taken place that have shaped it in negative ways, this is a beautiful place and space that can help pull us back into a very nice natural essence of who we are and were before a lot of trauma has taken place in our lives. Now, guys, I'm really super excited as well. So I'm going to be showing and teaching you as well during this course how to do distant healings, how to do distant viewings, how to do distant readings. The list is endless. What you will be able to do once you walk out of a level 2 course is going to rock your world and blow your mind. You're going to feel so incredibly confident. You're going to learn and understand and see that you have discovered talents that you didn't even know you had. And what's even more great about this is that after all my courses, we continue to support you. So we always have live webinars. We also have the replays available. We have WhatsApp support groups for each level. So level 1 and level 2 have each to have their support WhatsApp groups, where a lot of other practitioners are, where you can dive and connect into them and ask questions, ask for support. You can ask for healing swaps. We also host healing swaps for you, where you can come together and work with each other and practice the technique and also connect to like-minded people. And we have our Facebook group as well. So there's so many wonderful things that you can do and that you can learn from as well. And we have a tremendous amount of case studies as well, so you can learn and continue to learn how to help people. And of course, I will also always be there in the background to continue to support you in your future as you progress and as you move forward on this journey. So I'm so super excited. So if anyone from you, if you have any questions that you want to ask about this technique or this work, I'm happy to answer it for you. But if you feel that I've kind of like nailed it down for you, especially for those of you who are level 1 students, if you have been through the level 1 course, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. If you haven't really done any of my events, feel free to go have a look at Evette Rose events, and you'll see there, you can have a look at the level 1 video to see what I talk about, what is level 1 all about, and you can dive into that course as a self-paced course, and then you can qualify and you can come and do the level 2 course with us in October. I am so very excited. I can't wait to meet and connect with everyone. We're going to have an absolute blast. Let me just also quickly see here. I just want to see what's happening there. So let me just see. Very good. So we don't have questions that's relating to the technique and to today's webinar. We don't see any yet. Okay, great. So if you guys have any questions, let me know. Email us. We will happily answer them for you. And please also remember that you can come join the self-paced course on level 1. You can come to level 2, come as a group of 3, then you get 50% discount. And you can also, if you want to come just by yourself, then you can get 10% discount. There's so many wonderful opportunities. And if you don't have a group of 3, email us at info@metaphysicalanatomy.com. We will help you find your group of 3, because we have many people emailing us saying, hey, I'm looking for a group of 3. Can you please help me to connect with someone? And we are more than happy to do that for you. So my team is happy and we are excited. We're ready to meet you on the other side. And so the level 2 is coming up very shortly. It is, I think, the 4th to the 9th of October. So it's around the corner. So if you haven't done the level 1 mat technique, you can do the self-paced course right now. And then you can join us for the mat level 2 course that's coming up very shortly. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for your love. your time, and your energy. And I'm so excited to be hosting this. And I hope to see you also at this event taking place in October. And until then, big hugs, big kisses. Bye.